Ultra is a metaverse cryptocurrency that have performed very well this cycle, and I do believe it has a lot of potential to show. So today I'll be digging deep into its chart to understand the current structure and what are the possible moves that the price may be doing next. So stay till the end. So let's start by analyzing and understanding the bigger structure of Ultra. This will lead us to understand and forecast the upcoming moves from this point onwards. When you first look at this structure, you may think that this is a 5-wave structure that started here and formed 5 waves and has already ended. But that's not exactly the case. Now the structure has actually started right at this point. However, the so-called waves 2, 3, and 4, which are these ones, are not actually an independent waves. They are a running flat corrective pattern that includes 3 corrective waves, and together they make a single wave of the bigger structure. So this corrective pattern has started right here at this point in March of this year to form its initial corrective wave, and then came here to form the second one, and this was the third one. So these 3 waves together are considered one single wave of the bigger structure, and that's the second wave. So the initial wave has started here, this was the second one, and now we're in the middle of the third wave of the structure. So now let's move to analyzing this third wave of the bigger structure to understand how far it could be going further from this point. If we isolate this third wave of the structure alone, and we go to the weekly chart, we can clearly see at this point that the price is starting to pull back. Now if we look at the overbought and oversold oscillator, we can also see that the price have been overbought for a while. This specific indicator suggests that the price may continue in its pullback for a while until we exit the overbought area and take a little bit of breathing space before continuing up further from this point. Now if we take a look at the previous overbought areas that the price has touched, every time it came to the top and reached the top of the overbought area, it pulled back. So this was one here, and also we had another one here. Similarly, we're having another pullback at this point. But the important question is, how far is this pullback going to go from where the price stands today? So let's move ahead and try to draw the major support and resistance areas to try to see where the price could be reaching before it bounces up and continues its uptrend. On the daily chart, I can see 2 major support areas. The initial one stands here at this point, where the price have been retested twice. The initial one was retested as a resistance right here when the price came to this point. And after the breakout, the price came back to retest it another time as support. As for the other support area, it stands right at this point here. And this one was retested more than 2 times, unlike the initial support area. So this one was retested the first time here at this point, and this was the second time. Both of these times was retested as resistance, similarly at this point. And then after the price broke above this point, it came back for another retest as support. So this specific level was retested 4 times, which means that this support area is fairly stronger than the previous one. But what I will do now is that I will add the Fibonacci retracement levels to the chart to try and see if any of them have confluence with any of the existing support areas. And as you can see now, both of these support areas have confluence with certain Fibonacci retracement levels. The initial support area is supported by the 50% retracement level, and the second one is supported by the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level. So technically speaking, we'll be looking at 2 scenarios at this point. The initial one is suggesting that the 50 level and the current support level that's holding the price will keep holding its ground, which means the price may come back for a multiple 1 or 2 retests, and then it continues its uptrend. So it may come to this point, go up here, come down maybe one more time, and then continues its uptrend from this point. That's the initial scenario. Now, to be honest with you guys, I personally don't think that this is the one that's going to play out, simply because this support area over here is not as strong and it haven't been retested as many times as the previous support area. In addition to the previous support area having confluence with the 0.618 Fibonacci level, which is usually the strongest among all the retracement levels. So the scenario that I think will be playing out is that this current level is not going to hold the price, and we may see the price break below this level until it retests the 0.618 and the support level that we have at this point. And that's where I think the pullback may be finished before resuming the uptrend from this point. Now, in both of these scenarios, the price will eventually continue its uptrend. However, with the first scenario, that will be confirmed only if the price continues going up from this point and breaks the previous high. So that's the only time where we can say that the price continuation is already confirmed. However, for the second scenario, that can only happen when the price comes and breaks below the previous low. So if this scenario is going to be the one that happens, we need to see the price breaks below these levels and retest this point over here, which stands about $1 or $1.05. So unless we don't see a breakout of this level or this level, we are not going to confirm either one of these scenarios, because we may see the price keep on consolidating here to form a more complicated correction at this point. So now, after discussing both of the retracement scenarios, the next important question is, how far is this third wave of the structures going to be extending to? To be honest with you, that's not going to be decided unless we know how far the price is going to be pulling back. However, I'm going to assume that the second scenario, which I drawn over here with the white arrow, is going to play out, and I'm going to do the forecast based on this scenario here. As you can see here, the Fibonacci extension levels are giving us two targets. So if the price ends up retracing towards the 0.618 Fibonacci level that stands around this same support area, and then retraces from here, the initial target is going to be standing at the 1.618 Fibonacci level, and that stands around $4.44. But if the momentum was strong enough and the price managed to go beyond this level, so the next target is going to be the 3.618 level, and that stands at $8.5. So these are the two viable levels that we could be looking at if this scenario plays out. Remember, this whole forecast is subject to the price pulling back towards this level. Now anyways, I will assume that we are going to hit the first target of the 1.618 Fibonacci level. So at that time, if this happens, the overall structure for Ultra is going to be like this. This is the initial wave, that's the second wave, which was the correction I spoke about at the beginning, and this will be the third and likely the last wave of this structure. Now, if you're holding this coin and you have a specific target in mind, please let me what your target is in the comments below. And make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video. This was it for Ultra, and until next time, stay safe and see you later.